Hello, in this video we will look at how to navigate around the N-GAUGE app, how to set up products and implements, how to create different legends, and how to create contracts and storage locations. We're now in the N-GAUGE app, and if we look on our front screen and we see some fields, then we know that we are connected successfully to either our New Holland PLM, our Case IH AFS online accounts, or our John Deere Operations Centre, because that's the only way in which we can get field boundaries into the software. If you are connected, you may notice that some of the field boundaries are in red and some are in blue. The ones in red have yield data in, so that's all good, or they have protein data, or they have some data associated with them. If they're in blue, it means that there's no data yet in that particular field or paddock. So if you're expecting some in there, then investigate why. If you're just wondering why the different colours, that is the reason. If we have a look now around our screen and have a look at the icons that we see on the app, in the top right hand corner we have our grower icon, and this relates directly to either any of our online portals, whether it be the New Holland, Case or John Deere online portals. And we see here we only have one grower associated with that. If we did have more than one grower with our online account, then you would see other organisations down there. We'll just highlight it, then we'll move our growers accordingly from there. In this instance we've only got one. If you're using the Grain Logistics app as part of your protein analyzer, then click the protein and logistics, and what we have here is all of the storage locations that have been set up on the account, whether it's a chaser bin, whether it's a lorry, whatever it is. If we need to set some up, we'll need to go to the gear icon, which we'll do in a second. But once it's all set up, these will sync with our protein analyzer in our combine. So yeah, good to set it up in the app here and then synchronize it from there. We'll go back to our grower icon, select the nutrient manager, and that will bring us back into the app itself. We'll click the gear icon next. We'll have a look at all the different sections of that, and this is the account holder and their details. If you want to set up another admin user, then you can do using the admin add an admin user. Click that button, type in the first name, last name and an email address. This gives them full access to the app. You may want to choose to add a partner instead. Add a partner, first name, last name and name and email address again, and we can see all of the users that this customer has added. And then at the bottom we've got our license inquiries, the license details. If you want to send an inquiry about the license, then click that button and it will bring up the email tab of the particular device that you're on, and that will then send us an email to come back to you and answer your questions. So if we come out of the account details, go into our storage locations, and from there what we're able to do is view all of the storage locations that you would have seen from the Grain Logistics app. So this is where we actually see them and set them up. So if we go to add, we can put in field bin, for example, and if we are to use any special characters, then please only use the dash, because dots, commas, colons and forward slashes do cause problems later on if we're wanting to create variable rate application maps and send them out as shape files, for example. So yeah, we just create it's the field bin that we've got there, and the tonnage is 20. We'll save it, and that will now appear on our grain monitor and in the Grain Logistics app from there. So that's how you create a new storage location. We'll go back to, now we're in our contracts, and this is a contract that we've got. The buyer is Cargill, the type is canola, $500 a ton. That's the contract details, that's the grade, and that's the price for the ton of your grain. If you want to add another one, just click add and fill the details in from there to add to that. We come out of the contracts, then we go to legends. Here all the layers are in alphabetical order. You may well want to go down to look at the protein. Click done, and this is our default layer. And so we've got 9 layers here. If you're happy with that, then great. If you want less, then you can delete them from here, or if you want to create another one, click new, and then just go six band or whatever name you want to give it. As long as it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. On to click add to add our layers. So let's create 6 here. And we'll start off at 5, and you can put in whatever increments you want. It really doesn't matter as long as it makes sense to you. That is the most important things. You can put in decimal places to do that. So these are entirely up to you as to the way that you want to look at them. Then you've got the color palette. That's in black and white. The general one is red lowest and green good, but again, it's entirely up to you. If you then tick the box that says set legend as default, this is what we'll use when we're looking at any barley protein measurements. And so if you want that one as a default, great. If you don't, then just untick it and then save it, and we'll be able to select this in our layer picker when we come to it later. There is another area that we can go to create our legends later on, but you'll still go through this process. So it's not only in the gear icon setup you can do it, but we can do it from the legend creator later on. We're looking at our product here. These are our products that we've got set up in the system: DAP, gypsum, MOP. If we want to add another one, just click the add, type in the product, and whether it's a granular or liquid. This is what you'll use and select when you're wanting to create a variable rate application map. These ones are already set up in here, so this is exactly what we want to see. We've got our implements here. We can see we've got a couple of boom sprayers, different names, which is always good. We don't want to have 2 lots of seeders, just makes it a bit confusing. So again, if you want to add one, type seeder 36, and then what is it? It's a seeder, and then width 36. Nice and easy to follow and to understand when we want to create our variable rate application map later on. Our display preferences here, whether we want to display field names on our home screen or not, whether we want to show A/B lines, and our legends. The defaults are that's generally what people use, but if you want to come and change them, it's entirely up to you, depending on where you are in the world, metric or imperial units, and then you can pick your harvester icon, so you know which machine you're looking at. And so that's the display preferences. Then the app updates, just check on here. Always good to know where to get this if you're talking with a support engineer and they want to know which version of the software that you've got. Good to know where to go and get that. When you're in settings, if you want to return to the home screen, you can click the N-GAUGE logo, and that will take you back to the home screen.